What's up, guys? Welcome to our podcast, which is weekly here at the CCP Digest, where we talk about different things that have happened in our country financially, and more so things that have to do with our financial system in the country.
Yeah.
So, of recent, the president talked about gave a speech, actually, national speech, which usually does, when he feels like he's bored in his home. I feel like this guy just wakes up one morning and is like, you know what? Let me first talk to my bazukuru. We are like his bazukuru and all that.
Exactly. That's how he does it usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of recent, he's like, let me first speak out to my bazukuru, and I see something, I bring a spark into them. It has been a while, he doesn't usually do these things. So of recent, he talked about different things, economics, the coffee. He talked about different things to do with the oil. What is your take on any of these?
By the way, his speech this time around, the coffee is doing well. We are doing well as a country, guys. Very well, by the way, because the exports for coffee have since increased to, they were 60%, by now we are at 82%. And that's a very good increase. I mean, traders are getting money, we are increasing the export. And usually when you increase the export, of course, money flows in now. We are earning a lot compared to how we used to. So farmers down there in the village now have their income boosted because they export a lot and get a lot in turn. So I believe the president's point here, it was good to highlight on that, and it would boost people to pick a lot of interest in the coffee sector. Yeah. Over to you.
Speaking of coffee, of recent the marketing board was, it was, brought into under the ministry. And there are very many ups and downs about it. What do you guys think? Like, to me, in my thought, the integration of this marketing board, of the coffee board, it was a way of like trying to remove the farmers out of the picture and put it more into the government, and it makes it seem like the government is going to be more controlling of this coffee. What do you think about it?
Rationalizing the coffee agency, to me, was something that the government should have done a long time ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
The government alleged that there was so much money invested in the agency and they were not seeing results. Yes. Yeah, and it was attributed to tribalistic tendencies, especially
yes,
from...
That is what I was trying to say.
Yes. So I see that the rationalization was actually a good thing.
It was a good thing.
Then all the agencies actually, even UNRA, even bringing electricity from Umeme to UECDL, you can see they want to create that efficaciousness that has been lacking in the whole system. These bodies had monopolized everything. They thought, now we control everything. So they could not even count government as a big partner to them. But now when you bring it back to government, where there is strict control, they've been knowing they are answerable to a given authority. And now they can bring results. It can yield results, I believe, in the long run. Yeah, other than how it used to be.
So speaking of these private bodies, the government bodies, he also hinted on the oil being produced more so this year, but then there are speculations that maybe it will start in the last quarter of 2026. What is your take on this?
Okay, my take is I want to believe that the president is right, because I do not have information, or like people, yes, are saying that the coffee will be produced by the end of 2026, but he says that Uganda, first oil production is going to be in 2025.
Yes.
So I want us to be optimistic that this is going to come through.
Yeah, and more so because of the refinery thing. Since we are building our own refinery, there is a benefit that comes with owning something. I believe it will be worth the wait, no matter how long it takes. As long as we build that refinery and we can be sure that once the first drop comes out, it will be us to refine it, and we can file more returns at the end of the day compared to how it has always been.
Yes.
Speaking of the refinery, she's speaking of it coming out this year. Building it, coming out, so...
Yes, and also the standard, the oil pipeline is also in progress. Bulisa to Tanga is on course. So we are making positive strides in oil.
So what you're saying is that right now we are going first to take it to home, to Tanzania, to Kenya, as we build the refinery.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
the
it looks
pipeline goes direct to Tanzania, to Tanga, from Uganda direct to Tanzania. But at least those are good strides.
Yes.
I like where we are, as a country, and we are progressing well. Yeah, we are very optimistic. At least we are in good progress.
Well, that is more so about the president. You get to know, you can go into other things that he talked about that we won't go much detail into for now, for our podcast.
Yeah.
We can be like maybe limited to that. But then also, I would like us to hint on the technology in the country. My colleague here and many others out there, they are so much into the cyber side of it. Even other professions, you find that they find themselves linking into the cyber part of it. So, what is your take on the fintech of the country? You know, since we mostly look at finances, financially in the country, economically. So, what is your say on the fintech in the country?
I think due to the technological developments that have emerged in the last century, yes, financial technology is booming, especially in Africa. We can trace it back all the way to M-Pesa because it's considered as the first innovation when it comes to financial transactions.
Can I think M-Pesa is the replica of MTN Momo here in Uganda?
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's a good initiative.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So it's considered as the godfather of financial
Technologies.
fintech in Africa.
Wow.
But surprisingly, I am shocked that Kenya, because it was birthed in Kenya, Kenya is it's not booming as much as it is in Nigeria. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fintech is the next banking style, I can say. Yeah.
To my opinion, isn't it already a thing in Uganda? Because
In Uganda, I think the regulatory landscape is what is limiting us, because in 2022, the Bank of Uganda issued a statement clearly stopping any business to do with cryptocurrencies and fintechs. That was a very huge baffle for Uganda. It stops everything from continuing. But I know with time, of course, these technological developments are inevitable. You can't stop it. It is a revolution.
Yes,
when you look at the rise of cryptocurrencies, the Binance and the Binusu, those are some of the biggest cryptocurrency bodies in the whole world. And Nigeria, I think because of its creatives industry, are so much into filming, into technology, that's why it can boom more than Kenya, where it started. Kenya has slightly dragged, but I believe Nigeria, because of that huge industry they have so much into technology, and they have finances anyway, oil, everything. The richest man in Africa is there, and if they start into something, I know they can boost it. The population
is well educated.
Exactly.
And
So Nigeria has a very good base, and I know it will do well in fintechs, in the fintech space.
so when we are to limit the scope here in Uganda, how do you look at it in terms of like you've talked about Binance, crypto, those things? Have you guys tried to engage in any of those things?
Yes, we've tried. You can purchase a crypto wallet. You download the Binance app on your phone, and then you order for a crypto wallet. And then you start now owning property on a blockchain, because cryptocurrency is owned on a blockchain.
Yes.
It's a chain of events, so you purchase something and own it. But the risk is that it will not operate in Uganda, since the regulatory environment is against it. So in as much as you purchase it, it will keep on the web on the blockchain. So how will you use it? So for now, Ugandans are limited in that manner. But I know with time, we shall open up.
But there are people earning from it.
I agree. Just in case, for example, if someone stole your Bitcoin, you have no recourse in the law. So you can still earn in it, but there is no recourse whatsoever in the law.
But is it possible for you to steal someone's Bitcoin? That is something.
On a
people
blockchain, because in blockchains, you can only post something, or you can only purchase property there. They do not allow you to remove it. You only purchase and store for a meantime. You cannot alter it. You can't alter it.
Okay, the reason why I was saying this, I have had people being frauded when it comes to crypto. Someone tells you, give me your money, I'm going to buy for you crypto, but that is never the case. And they have nowhere to go to say someone told me, secret dress, like someone told me they would give me crypto, because it's not considered as...
Now you see, the fraudulent bit therefore comes in with individuals. But if you already have it launched on a blockchain, the person does not have the rights to pull it from there, because it is two-factor authentication. You have a multitude of passwords you enter in, and it's you who knows. So the way they get to fraud you, to defraud those people so much. It is because of that thing. An individual comes and you don't know any process about it. You're green. Ugandans are green.
Yes.
So you don't know what he's going to do. He says, I'm going to buy you a crypto and you get your crypto wallet. So you wait. He goes away. He defrauds you.
As Ugandans, we should take this up, looking at the fintech in the country, it's growing. Should we as a country adopt it? Like he has said, the government stopped it, they issued those. So do you think we should take it up? Should the youth, get more engaged into it or something of the sort? What do you think? Should we take it up?
I believe we should take it up because it is how the world is moving, and if we do not move with the world, of course we'll be lagging behind, which will not be good for us as a country.
It is an inevitable revolution. It's like a revolution of sorts. If you see Nigeria, they have something called e-naira.
Yes,
Money, digital markets are everywhere, so everything is going digital, even money. So we have to digitally monetize our economy. We cannot keep issuing these papers and everything. The world will leave us behind. That's how technology works. You have no other way around it. You have to get to where the world is heading. So we need to start the e-revolution in Uganda, seriously.
Yes.
So if you look at the dynamics of it, we see that people can earn vigorous amounts of money from it, large amounts of money from it. So don't you think that if we are to take it up and many people have money, don't you think there will be like inflation in the country, or it will increase the gap between the rich and the poor? Wouldn't like increase, or what do you think?
Of course, inflation cannot fail to happen, but inflation is controlled. And you very well know that there are times when inflation is high, but the economy is doing well. So inflation is two-way. It depends on the financial regulatory environment. If the finance ministry can hold it, can make sure in the inflation people still benefit, then well and good. But I know it will cause some inflation. That can't fail too.
So anyway, further from that, we can go maybe into our taxes.
Oh yeah.
Not our things of IFRIS, what? This is something that has come out. It's out there on the streets. Something to do with the Budok, is it?
Oh yeah, the tax ombudsman in Uganda. Oh, thank you. That's actually a very good ground. The ombudsman is someone, for example, he's employed by the government. You are a government worker, but you're supposed to investigate into what a government does. If it is a tax ombudsman, you should make sure the government does not exploit people through the taxes it puts out. And you can always be a mediator now as a ombudsman. So it's a good initiative, Uganda bringing it up, because Kenya, I remember Kenya had a very good tax ombudsman and he's doing a great work. The taxes are not always against the people, but he harmonizes the government with the people. And that's the duty of an ombudsman. I believe it's a good initiative. I believe Ugandans, especially the common man, will benefit so much. They will not be cheated. Like it has always been. Ugandans are so ignorant about tax. But this ombudsman now, even if they are ignorant, they will not be exploited. That's what he should do.
So if I'm to get you well, it is an individual that limits the government's taxation on the normal people.
Exactly.
Of the country.
Yes.
Wow.
I understand that this would be a good thing because tribunals, you know how tribunals work. Yes. Sometimes the process is not fair. Sometimes the courts are impartial. So an ombudsman will go a long way.
Maybe actually it is like the data protection office in Uganda, that you have personal data, very information that is so pertinent to you. Maybe your date of birth, how old are you, the parents you have. The data protection office in Uganda now, it is to make sure that citizens' data is not used to their disadvantage. Someone can disclose your data to someone and they come and hunt you down. So the same applies to the ombudsman, to make sure that the tax issues the government releases, they are not against the people usually. So it's a very great initiative. I think the common man will benefit.
So don't you think this ombudsman will replace the URA that we have, or the tax appeals tribunals? Won't it now tend to do away with those agencies or those bodies of the government?
I think not. I think they're bringing it in a way of trying to resolve tax disputes expeditiously and quickly. Yes. So it won't do away with tribunals or other redresses someone would want to go to resolve a tax issue.
Because I want to believe the ombudsman will be paid. So if he will act as a middleman. But if he fails, the matter will still go to the tribunal. So definitely he will only limit the damage it could have caused. Yeah, he will always remedy that situation to escalate so much, but we can go to the tribunal afterwards. But at least this common man will not be so exploited. Now he limits the damage to the common man.
So that means we shall begin with the Ombudsman, we go to the tribunals, then we go to the courts. Is that it?
Usually that's the system, of course. When new tax laws come in, this ombudsman studies them and maybe advises the government against anything. Or if a citizen comes up complaining, he says, oh, let me see how to limit it. Now, if they fail to harmonize, then they can go to a tribunal. But you see, it's a very harmonious process now, other than the government issuing laws that are purely exploitative. No one has to limit that. Citizens run to courts.
Yes.
That was a very Herculean process.
So I guess that is it. We can look more into the tax ombudsman. We try to find out, since these things affect us, they affect the country, as we are all going to face the same issue. We are all going to face the same incidents. We are all going to be out there, have TIN numbers. The taxation has to be looked into more further, and we try to see where the country can go.
Exactly.
That's it for our episode. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for bearing with us here at the CCP Digest. Thank you very much.